Hey yo, yo. The topic of this video is going to be about human history. The topic of this video is going to be about human history. Okay, so human history is so it's so broad, right? To discuss like human history, right? Because it's such a complex topic. Like a lot of the topics of my videos are very complex. A lot of the topics of my videos are very complex. But I wanted to like discuss now human history and stuff like that. Because okay, so like where do you even begin with this? I don't know. Where do you even begin with this? Where do you even begin? Like it's very difficult to discuss this topic, human history, right? But that's what I wanted to talk about now, human history and stuff like that. Like our history, right, and stuff, the history of mankind, the history of mankind and stuff like that. Where would you begin with this? Because it's so like our history goes back so far, and so there's like so much to talk about. But like because our history goes back so far, and there's like so much to talk about and stuff. It's very hard to like even begin this video. But human history, obviously. It also there's like a lot of different opinions on our history and stuff like that, and perspectives. I don't know. There's like a lot of different opinions and perspectives on our history. Like, because there's like different opinions and stuff like that. Like if you're like a Christian, Muslim, or a Jew and stuff like that, you believe that we all come from Adam. We were created and stuff like that. We were then put on this earth and blah blah blah. And then the Bible and the Quran happened and stuff like that. And the history that's mentioned in the Bible and the Quran, that's what happened and stuff. In the Torah and the Tanakh and the other Abrahamic scriptures and stuff. That's what happened to us and stuff. That's our history. This is if you're like a very religious person and you're a Christian, Muslim, or Jew, and then you might be an atheist. An atheist and stuff, and you might believe that we weren't just created, we were like developing from lesser creatures and stuff, and natural selection and evolution was happening and stuff, and we all come, like all humans and all living creatures and stuff like that, we all came out of the ocean, and we were like developing from lesser creatures until we got to the point where we are now in evolution and stuff like this. You might have this type of belief, right, that we all come from the ocean and that we weren't created, but we're like the end result of like thousands of years of evolution and natural selection. That could be your opinion on our history and stuff. I don't know. You see, like, where do I begin with this video? Because the topic of this video is human history and stuff like that. But how would I even begin this video? Because it's so complex. Like, you can see, like, there's so many different ways to talk about our history and stuff. There's so many like different opinions as well, and it also depends on your beliefs as well. Because if you're a Christian, Muslim, or Jew, you might believe that, and like we were created and then we were put on earth and we all come from Adam, blah blah blah, stuff like that. And then the history that's mentioned in the Bible and the Quran, that's what happened to us and our ancestors, blah blah blah. Or you might be like more atheistic and you might believe that we all come from the ocean floor. We all come from like the ocean floor and stuff like that. We were evolving and developing from lesser creatures and stuff, and thousands of years of evolution and natural selection and stuff, and that's why we're here. You can see it's so hard to talk about human history properly, especially if we're going all the way back to the beginning and stuff. It's almost impossible. It's almost impossible to know like what actually happened in our history if we're going all the way back to the beginning. But human history, it's impossible to like to know exactly what happened to us if we were going all the way back to the beginning. But we could start at the agricultural period, right? Maybe the agricultural period. I don't know. What do I mean by agricultural? Like when humans we stopped being like in tribes and we started like being in like communities and societies and stuff, and we start to like domesticate animals and farm crops and stuff like this time period, right? This is so important for us. It's like why do we stop being in tribes, and why do we start to like get into like communities and societies and stuff, and start to like farm land and stuff and grow crops and domesticate animals and do all this stuff that's very advanced? When did this start to happen? I don't know. It's impossible to know. Like that's kind of the issue with a lot of these videos. Like not these videos, I mean, maybe a lot of my videos are complex, but the issue like with these types of topics like on our histories, like, it's impossible for us to properly know what happened in our history and stuff like that, because there was no one there that was like looking at everything and like documenting things properly. So if you like, even maybe the agricultural period, I mean, there's not really a lot to talk about when, like, because if we're discussing like our agricultural, the period where we became, like, we would start to get into communities and farm crops and grow stuff and then domesticate animals. This time period, I don't know, it's kind of all wishy-washy, because I don't know, like, when did we stop being in tribes, and when did we like stop being hunter-gatherers and stuff like that, and when did we start to like get into communities and start to like grow crops and farm food and domesticate animals? It's like, it's very blurry. There's no like, there's no way to properly know what exactly happened and when we start to do specific things and stuff, and when do we go from when we start to like go from being like hunter-gatherers to like agriculturalists to like being like modern men right now and women and stuff like that, when we start to go into the modern age. It's like all of this is like, it's very difficult to properly articulate all of this, because it's like no one was there recording everything properly. We were just loosely guessing what happened in our past and stuff, and that's kind of very difficult. That's why it's so hard to make like this video. Like, the topic of this video is human history, and I'm already like kind of mumbling with my words and I'm all over the place. But let's kind of, actually, let's go back before the agricultural period. Actually, let's go back to like the period where we were just hunter-gatherers. There was no civilization. We were just hunter-gatherers. We were hunter-gatherers and stuff like that, and we were just foraging for like food and stuff, whatever was available on the land. That's what we were like hunting for and looking for and stuff. We were just hunter-gatherers. This like the human being, like, we have been hunter-gatherers for like probably, maybe potentially millions of years. I mean, if you want to count, like, if you believe in the theory of evolution and that we come from like these lesser apes like Homo erectus and like these other Homo creatures, I don't know, and Neanderthals and stuff like this, these types of people, if you can even consider these types of people humans, these like hominids, I don't know, I'm mumbling with my words, that like these things were like hunting, like we like they're, if they're even like our ancestors, like we I mean, I'm so like lost right now. I don't know, I'm mumbling with my words, but you know, we've been hunter-gatherers for millions of years. Basically, we were just, whatever was available on the land, we were just like foraging for that and like trying to stay alive on that and stuff like that. And we were just like we were like at the mercy of our environment and stuff. That's when we were like, this was like for millions of years we were just hunter-gatherers and stuff. That's kind of insane. For millions of years we were hunter-gatherers. It was like, what is a hunter? What are hunter-gatherers and stuff? What are hunter-gatherers about? They just rely on the things on their land. They subsist off of what's available on their land. They cannot sustain themselves on their own. They have to like depend on the land and the environment they're in and stuff like that. They can't go somewhere else, otherwise, you know, like, it's just because I mean, maybe they could do that. Maybe hunter-gatherers were like traveling around and stuff like that, but typically if you're a hunter-gatherer, I don't know, maybe they were traveling around, I don't know, maybe I'm just being a dumbass. Maybe if you're a hunter, I'm not too familiar with hunter-gatherers. I mean, you can look at a bunch of different tribes in Africa. Maybe they do roam around, I don't know. It's very difficult. It's very difficult for me to properly to talk about this. I don't know. Hunter-gatherers, yeah. Hunter-gatherers were they relied on the land, and you know, us human beings, we were hunter-gatherers for the longest period of our time. We only start to like get into like agriculture and civilization building and society building and stuff like that. Start to get into communities and stuff very recently in our history. For the longest time we were just like running around the land and just trying to hunt and gather and eat whatever is available on the land and stuff. That's like most of our history. For most of our history we had no written language and stuff like that, nothing advanced, you know what I mean? Like in our modern society, we have all this technology and literature and books and like sophisticated culture and stuff like that, and like blah blah blah. All of this was like for the human being for millions of years had literally nothing like this. For millions of years we were just hunter-gatherers, if you believe in the theory of evolution. Because again, this goes back to what I was originally saying, right? It's all about like there's a lot of opinions on our history and stuff. Because if you're a Christian, Muslim or Jew, you might believe that we just come from Adam. We don't come from like Neanderthals and Homo erectus, like, and like other types of things like this, other lesser creatures, like the theory of evolution and natural selection and stuff like this. This is just nonsense. We come from Adam and stuff. I see, talking about our history is so difficult because there's so many different opinions and beliefs on our history and what happened to us in the past. It's almost impossible. And you know, when I'm discussing history and our past, nobody really knows what happened to us in our past, in our history and stuff. It's all just wishful thinking and guessing and stuff like that. Like nobody really knows what happened 1,000 years ago, man. Nobody really knows. We're our history. We're relying on like accounts. Like a lot of the way we like create like our history, like you go onto YouTube and stuff like that, and you type in like, you go on like history documentaries, blah blah blah, all the information on from these types of things from history document, like the way we piece together history is kind of very dumb. We're just relying on accounts, like what people said in the past, like a bunch of random people said in the past. We're just relying on what they had to say about what happened in their time period and stuff. That's not good enough, man, because we know people make things up, and we know people lie and distort information to suit their own agendas and stuff. So, you know, I wonder, like, to what extent is our history just kind of fabricated? I believe that our history is fabricated to a massive extent. I believe that a lot of our history is just kind of like just all made up and stuff like that, and fabricated, because, like, you know, think about it, nobody really knows what happened like 1,000 years ago, or even 200 years ago, right? The only way we even have like a clue about what happened in the past is because we just have like accounts and stuff that people that were alive in that period, what they had to say, they wrote stuff down, and then that's all we have to rely on now and stuff. That's ridiculous, because we know people are not intellectually honest. We know people make things up and distort information. So, you know, in my opinion, I believe we don't even know anything about our history. I believe our history is completely lost. We don't know anything about our true history. We don't know anything about our true history. It's all just our history's kind of all made up and fabricated and stuff like that. A lot of our history is probably just made up. I'm not even kidding. I believe you go on all these history documentaries on YouTube and blah blah blah, and you go on Wikipedia and stuff, and you look up a lot, like you research about our history, blah blah blah, and you find all these different things that talk about our history and show our history and stuff. I think that's all just made up nonsense. I believe a lot of our history has just been fabricated and made up. I believe a lot of our history is just kind of all just fabricated, made up. Again, what do we have to rely on to discover our history? We only have like accounts that prehistoric people have made and written about and stuff, medieval people as well and stuff. These people were ignorant and stupid. They probably weren't intellectually honest. They probably were distorting information and stuff like that to suit their own agendas and stuff. Again, I believe like a lot of our history has just been kind of fabricated and made up. I believe a lot of our history has been just kind of fabricated and made up and stuff like that. I believe there's like a very small like nugget of truth regarding our history and stuff like that. I don't know. I believe a lot of our history is just all fabricated and made up and just nonsense. Because you gotta think about it, like what do we have to go on, right? What are we like? Well, like, how do we like discover our history? We only have our like pieces of like information and written and stuff like that, and accounts and loose pieces of literature and stuff like this. All this stuff, man, that we have to like discover our history is just all nonsense. Because it's all, we know humans, we make things up and we lie and we distort information and we have our own agendas and interests and we're selfish and we manipulate things for our own needs and stuff like that. That's why I believe that, you know, a lot of our history is probably just made up and fabricated and nonsense. I can't even, like, that's why I'm having problems talking about this video, like even making this video, not talking about this video. I'm mumbling with my words now. I'm having difficulties making like this video because like our history, like we know nothing about our history. The only with our history is probably most likely completely fabricated and made up. We have no clue about what actually happened in our past. The only thing that we have to go on to rely on to discover our history is like a bunch of like loose pieces of information that some people made and stuff like that, wrote on parchment and stuff, like some like literally like we have to like rely on like medieval people and stuff and their ignorant opinions and stuff like that, and their limited viewpoints and stuff, and that's all we have. We can't go back in time and like document everything properly. It's so stupid to me, right, that people like they're so confident about our history, like especially a lot of historians, they say things like with absolute certainty. It's so stupid to me, man. They're so confident. It's so dumb to me, man. Like our history, like it's so stupid to me, right? So a lot of historians are so confident and stuff. They're confident about our history. They say things with such certainty that things happened in this particular way, and that's absolutely true. That's ridiculous, man. Again, if we go back 1,000 years, if we go back to the medieval period, the Middle Ages, like nobody knows what happened in that time period, man. Nobody knows. All we have to go off of is like literally accounts written by medieval people that were extremely ignorant, and then they had their limited viewpoints. That's what we have to rely on. You know how dumb that is? That's so ridiculous, so stupid to me. So ridiculous that we have to literally rely on like the ignorant opinions of medieval people and other types of prehistoric people. That's how we like piece together our history. That's so dumb. I can't even make this video because you see how impossible it is. Like, because we don't know anything about our history, man. All these historians and stuff like that, they're basically chatting shit. You know what I mean? They're chatting shit. All we have to all we have to discover our history is like loose pieces of information and stuff like that, and all this like stuff that's like accounts and like loose pieces of information, and like all this stuff is just biased. It's all like manipulated and stuff like that. We know humans, we are selfish, we're ignorant and stuff like that, and we're not intellectually honest. We have our own agendas and stuff, and we distort information to meet our own agendas and stuff like that, and our own selfish needs. I believe a lot of our history is fabricated and made up. I believe there's only like a small nugget of truth regarding our history. I believe a lot of our history is just made up. It's made up nonsense. I believe, because you know, all these historians, they're so confident about like things happen the way they did like this in our past. I believe that's nonsense. I believe a lot of our history is just kind of fabricated and made up and nonsense. You know, this video, human history, we don't know anything about our history. I'm being completely serious, like pure knowledge. I'm talking about like with 100% certainty. Like we don't know anything that happened in our past. It's all the speculation. You know that. It's all speculation. We don't know with 100% certainty. With 100% certainty. What happened in our past. It's all just like loose. It's like speculation, and I'm just guessing and stuff, guesswork based off like loose accounts and like pieces of information that could have easily been distorted and stuff like this. It's so ridiculous to me, right? That some people, they're so confident, like especially historians and stuff, they're so confident about our history. It's so ridiculous to me. We don't like with 100% certainty, we know nothing about our history. We don't know, especially if we're going way back. I mean, obviously now, if we're only going back a couple 50 years, maybe, I don't know, because we have cameras and smartphones and things have been documented now recently. But if we're going 1,000 years back, we don't know anything about our history. Is this all loose accounts and stuff like that, and like urban legends and myths and stuff like that probably got mixed in, and then we have to rely on like the ignorant opinions of medieval people and other prehistoric people and stuff, and their limited viewpoints. This is dumb. I'm kind of all over the place, but you know, human history, I can't even talk about this properly, because we don't know anything about our history with 100% certainty. And you obviously we all have our different beliefs and opinions and stuff, and you might, again, Christian, Muslim, Jew, or you might be an atheist and you believe in evolution, natural selection, and that all humans and other living organisms, we all came out of the ocean floor, and we were developing from lesser creatures, and thousands and millions and quadrillions of years of evolution and natural selection. Now we're here. Your beliefs and opinions are also very important on this. I'm being completely honest. We have no clue about our history. I'm being totally honest about this. We don't know anything about our past. So all we have to like rely on are like loose pieces of information and stuff like that, and like accounts that were made by medieval ignorant prehistoric people and stuff. So it's kind of, we don't know anything about our history. We're literally in the dark. Like, I can't even make this video properly because it's literally impossible. I'm talking about human history, but I'm telling you that we don't know anything about our history. It's with 100% certainty. All these historians are so dumb. All these historians are so ignorant and stupid, man. They talk about things with 100% certainty. That's so dumb. They're so stupid. They talk about like our history with like 100% certainty. I'm talking, obviously, I'm not talking about like 10 years ago or something. Like, I'm talking about thousands of years ago in the medieval period and stuff like this. Like, a lot of historians, they have like this 100% certainty that things happen like this and stuff like that, and this is what happened in our past. It's kind of dumb, because we're literally like they're relying on like. They're relying on like loose pieces of information and accounts that were made by medieval prehistoric people that were ignorant, and they had their own limited viewpoints and stuff like this. And you know, it's literally impossible to talk about like, our history properly, and it's difficult as hell, because like we don't really know what happened to us in our past. It's all just speculation and stuff like that. It's all just speculation and just a lot of guesswork. There's no certainty. All these historians, they have like they talk about our history with like 100% certainty. That's so dumb. It's so stupid to me, man. They talk about our history with like 100% certainty. It's so dumb to me, man. How can you, like, when like 1,000 years ago nobody was alive back, like we can't, it's not like we can go back in time and just like document things and talk to people in that time period. Like, they're all gone and stuff. It's ridiculous to me. I don't know. Like, that, a lot of historians and stuff like that, they talk with 100% certainty, like, this is what happened in our past, this is what happened, blah 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 blah. They have like this complete certainty that this is what happened in our past and stuff, and it's completely true. This is nonsense, man. all these history documentaries, historical documentaries and stuff, all these history books and blah blah blah, all of these things, it's all just a bunch of nonsense. We don't know what happened in our past. Human history is just it's literally a mystery. Nobody knows what happened properly in our past. All these like historians, they're going to tell you otherwise. Oh, we do know what happened because we have all these accounts from ignorant medieval prehistoric people and stuff and blah 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 blah, and their opinions are true because I say so and stuff. It's stupid, so dumb. I believe like a lot of modern people are just kind of dumb, man. So retarded and ignorant and stupid. So many people are just so like they're so ignorant and dumb. They believe like a lot of us are just so ignorant and dumb, man. We just blindly believe what people say. And so, oh, the historians say this is what happened in our past. It's true. We're so ignorant and dumb, man. No, but like our history is a complete mystery. If we're going back even like to the medieval period, like all we have to go on are like the accounts and like the opinions and the loose pieces of information made by like literally medieval prehistoric people that were extremely ignorant and stupid, and they had their own like limited viewpoints. That's what we have to go on to kind of piece together our history. That's so dumb. Human history, I can't even talk about this topic because we don't know anything about our history, man. We don't know anything about history. All the information that we have on our past is literally just we have to rely on like accounts and like the opinions of like prehistoric medieval people, and we don't even know if they actually existed or if these people were just made up by other people and stuff. It's so like that's so insane once you actually start to think about that, right? That we don't know anything about our history. It's all just a big mystery. We don't know anything about our history. It's all just like a mystery and stuff. It's all just a mystery, man. I'm telling you, it's all a mystery. I can't even make this video properly. There's all this a mystery and stuff like that, man. It's all just a mystery. It's all a mystery. I can't even make this video properly. Like I'm telling you now, right now, all these historians that they talk about our history with like 100% certainty. It's all just nonsense. We don't know anything about our history. It's all just a mystery. All we have to like rely on to piece together our history is like literally the accounts of medieval prehistoric people. Are so dumb. That's literally, it's not like we can go back in time and like document everything and have like a 4K footage of like what our ancestors were up to and stuff. It's all, everything we know about our past is just probably just made up nonsense. It's probably all fabricated. All those historical documentaries you watch in your spare time, all those documentaries are probably just bullshit. You know, a lot of our history, a lot of the information regarding our history is probably bullshit. It's so insane, especially if we're talking about like major historical figures like Genghis Khan and stuff like that. Other people like him, other like figures that are very popular and stuff. You know, Genghis Khan. We don't know anything about the guy's life. All we have to go on are like a bunch of people. They just thought they remembered stuff about him, and then that's what we have to go on. It wasn't like someone was there documenting every portion of his life, every period of his life. Like everyone, like there was like a scribe that was with Genghis Khan. He was writing down everything Genghis Khan was doing. No. Other people, like after Genghis Khan died, other people are just like, oh, this is what happened to him. Blah, blah. They were just going off their memory and stuff, and it's kind of dumb because we know human memory, our memory gets all messed up and fucked up and shit. We don't remember things properly, right? Can you remember what you ate on the same day 2 weeks ago? No, you can't. Think about it. Can you remember what you ate today? Not today, but like on the same day, like it might be Wednesday. Can you remember what you ate on Wednesday 2 weeks ago? No, you cannot properly. Maybe you might be autistic. Maybe you can pick up on that properly, but I don't know. Like all these historical figures, like a lot of their like life stories are probably made up. Like a lot of our history is probably made up and fabricated. Again, it's not like there was like again, all we have to like go on our like go off of our the ignorant opinions of medieval prehistoric people. That's so dumb. That's literally ridiculous to me. I don't know. And it's so dumb that all these historians and stuff, man, they talk about our history like with 100% certainty. They talk about our history with like 100% certainty. Now this is what happened in our past. It's completely true. What I say is true. It's so dumb. Like, hopefully this video like kind of wakes you up and stuff from the brainwashing. Because a lot of us are so fucking stupid, man. Some dumbass tells you something and you just believe it. Oh, these historians, all of them. This is what happened to us in our past. I mean, again, nobody knows what happened to us in our past. Like 1,000 years ago, we don't know anything about that time period. We don't know what was happening and going on in like 1,000 years ago. All we have to go off of are like literally loose like accounts and opinions of like prehistoric medieval people. That's dumb. Of course, a lot of you would be like, well, these loose accounts and opinions, they're reliable because these people were reliable, and we don't like. It's so dumb. These loose accounts and stuff from these prehistoric medieval people, they're reliable because these prehistoric people, medieval people, were like, they were intellectually honest. Oh, come on, you're gonna have to bullshit me again, man. These accounts are just made. They're nonsense. We know people are intellectually. We know people aren't intellectually honest. We know people manipulate and distort information to meet their own agendas and interests and stuff. We don't know anything about our history, man. That's why, human history. I made this video. It's kind of ironic because I can't even talk about it. I can't even talk about this topic properly because we don't know anything about our history. That's kind of, isn't that like kind of funny? It's very funny and sad as well. I don't know. Now, we don't know anything about our history. A lot of our history is just fabricated, made up. Probably a lot of like the information regarding so many different historical figures, a lot of that information is probably distorted and it's probably tainted as well. We don't know anything. We don't know like with 100% certainty what happened in our past. It's all just guesswork and speculation and stuff. These historians and these historical documentaries, all this like stuff, like these historians again, yeah, they're so annoying, and they talk with like, I hate when I go onto like some type of documentary about our history. It's like, oh, the person that's talking, he talks like with 100% certainty, right? That Genghis Khan was alive and he did this and this and this and this, and we know this because other people said this about him and stuff after he died, and these people, they weren't really even closely related to Genghis Khan. It's so ignorant and dumb, man. I'm telling you. A lot of our history is probably made up and stuff nonsense. It's probably a lot of it. There's only like a small nugget of truth in our history. I don't know. Of course, you also have your own opinions and beliefs. If you're a Christian, Muslim, Jew, you believe we all come from Adam. We all come from Adam and stuff. Blah blah blah. We were made by God, by Yahweh, Allah. Or you might be an atheist. You believe in the theory of evolution. We all come from the ocean floor, and we were evolving from lesser creatures. And evolution and natural selection was happening for millions and billions and cajillions of years. And now we're here. So you see, your opinions and beliefs are very important as well. But, I'm telling you, man, we don't know anything about our history. Our human history is a mystery. That's kind of like a rhyme. Human history is a mystery. That is true. We don't know anything about our history. It's all the speculation and guesswork. All the accounts and stuff like that. All the accounts and stuff like that is probably just all made up, man. A lot of our history has probably just been made up nonsense. I don't know. A lot of like our history is just probably fabricated, made up. It's kind of this video. It's very funny. I said I wanted to talk about our history, and now I'm saying that like our history is just a mystery because we don't know anything about it. Like, all we have to go on are like the ignorant opinions of medieval prehistoric people and stuff. That's not good enough. This video is kind of very stupid. I don't know. Human history. I wanted to talk about it, but now I'm telling you that because it's true though. Human history is a mystery. That's like a nice little rhyme. Like we don't know anything about our history, man. It's all this guesswork and stuff like that. All guesswork. Are you gonna tell me that like we have like 4K footage of what happened to our ancestors? No, we don't. It's all just guesswork and speculation and stuff, and a lot of it's relying on like the ignorant opinions of like medieval prehistoric people. That's so dumb. That's how we piece together our history and stuff. It's so dumb. That's so dumb. We don't. Human history is a mystery, man. We don't know anything about our past. It's all speculation and guesswork and stuff. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. These historians, they're so full of themselves. They're so freaking annoying. We don't know anything about our past, man. Nobody. Like, it's not like you can like go back in time and chit chat with the people that were alive 1,000 years ago. Like, it's all this. It's all this guesswork and speculation and stuff like that. We don't know anything about our past and stuff like that, man. It's all this guesswork and speculation and stuff. Guesswork and speculation. It's all guesswork and speculation and stuff like that. It's all this guesswork and speculation. That's all I'm getting at. We have no clue about our past, our history. It's all just a mystery. Human history is a mystery. That's like a nice little rhyme you can take from me. Human history is a mystery. All speculation, all guesswork. Really, are you going to tell us that we have to because we're all relying on the opinions of like ignorant medieval prehistoric people. That's like how we're going to piece together our history. Don't be dumb. We have no clue about what actually happened 1,000 years ago, even 500 years ago. We only know with like some certainty like what happened, like at least with like a couple hundred years ago. That's it. Then going further back is just all a mystery. And there's a lot of opinions and beliefs. Again, if you're like if you're a Christian Muslim Jew, you think that you believe that we all come from Adam, blah 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 blah, and the events that happened in the Bible and the Quran, they're true and stuff like that. That's our history. Or you might be an atheist and you believe in the theory of evolution and stuff, and natural selection and stuff. And we all came out of the ocean floor, blah blah blah, and we're evolving from lesser creatures and organisms and stuff, and millions of years and billions, cajillions of years of evolution and natural selection, and here we are. Human history is a mystery. That's like a nice little rhyme you can take from me. You know, this video is kind of dumb. I don't know. Human history. I can't even talk about our history because it's all a mystery. Human history is a mystery and stuff. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Nobody, like we have no clue about what was going on 1,000 years ago. All we have to rely on are like the ignorant opinions of medieval, prehistoric people. I'm telling you, that's not good enough. All these historians that talk about our history with 100% certainty, they're so dumb and ignorant and stupid and full of themselves. They should be slapped in the face. I'm telling you, a lot of these historians, man, they're so full of themselves. They're so ignorant and dumb. They need to be slapped in the face. Human history is a mystery. All we have to rely on to piece together our history is like the ignorant opinions of medieval, prehistoric people. That's so fucking stupid. That's so dumb. All these historians, man, is fucking so full of themselves. They're so ignorant. They deserve to be slapped on the face. Don't let them bullshit you, man. Human history is a mystery because we don't know what was going on like 1,000 years ago in our history. All we have to rely on are like the ignorant opinions of prehistoric medieval people. Do you know how dumb that is? Like, what other piece of evidence do we have for our history? So, literally, all we have to rely on are like the ignorant opinions of prehistoric medieval people. Like, what? It's not like we have video footage of what our ancestors were doing, or we have we could go back in time and chit chat with them. Like, literally, all we have to rely on are like the ignorant opinions of medieval, prehistoric people. I'm saying medieval, like obviously there's a bunch of different time periods that go back before the medieval period. I don't know, but that's not good enough. Human history is a mystery. We have no clue about our past. I'm telling you, all these historians are just bullshitting you. All these historical documentaries are just bullshit. Like, we don't have any clue about what actually happened in our past with 100% certainty. That's so important. With 100% certainty, we do not know what happened to our ancestors and what happened in our past and what our actual history is. It's all just speculation, guesswork. Don't let these historians bullshit you. Human history is a mystery. That's like a nice little rhyme that you can take from me. Human history is a mystery. We don't know what happened to our ancestors. We don't know what actually happened in our past. Damn, man. You see this? I love recording outside, by the way. It's a lot more fun. It's more interesting when I'm out and about and I'm like filming and showing you all of these different locations. Install clothes. Anyway, human history is a mystery. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Again, what piece of evidence do we have to rely on to piece together our history? So all we have are like the ignorant opinions of like medieval, prehistoric people. That's fucking retarded. It's not like we have video footage of what our ancestors were doing and stuff. It's not like we have video footage of what our ancestors were doing, or we have or we could go back in time and chit chat with them or something like this. Our history is probably just all made up. I believe our history, a lot of it's just nonsense. I believe that we don't really know anything about our history. I believe that human history is just a mystery and stuff that we don't really have any type of true understanding of what happened to our ancestors and stuff like that. All these historians that will tell you like with 100% certainty about what happened to our ancestors, they're bullshitting you, man. They're bullshitting you. We have no clue about our history. It's all just speculation and guesswork. You know, I started this video off. It was like I was going to tell you exactly what happened to our ancestors. Fucking, I was being kind of a dumbass. Like, we don't know anything about what happened to our ancestors. Human history is a mystery and stuff. That's so true. A nice little rhyme that you can take from me. That's like a nice little rhyme that you can take from me. Like, literally, we have no clue about what happened to our ancestors, what happened in the past. Oh, like, it's just all speculation and guesswork, and we have to rely on like the ignorant opinions of medieval, prehistoric people. That's so fucking retarded. So stupid. that's actually very funny once you start to actually realize that we don't know anything about our history, our true history, because again, the only evidence we have is to rely on. It's like the ignorant opinions of medieval prehistoric people. That's so fucking stupid. Our human history is a mystery, blah blah blah. You know, again, I started this video off. It was like I was going to tell you exactly what happened to our ancestors and blah blah blah. But I can't tell you that because human history is a mystery. I don't know. Nobody really knows about what happened to us and our ancestors and stuff, and what happened in the past. It's all just guesswork and speculation and stuff, and it's all just like all. Like it's basically a lot of our history is just fabricated and made up and stuff. It's so imaginary. I don't know. I'm telling you, all we have to rely on are like the ignorant opinions of medieval and other types of prehistoric people. We have to just rely on their opinions to piece together our history. That's fucking retarded. I'm telling you right now that we don't know anything about our history, right? What happened to us, our ancestors and stuff. Not to us because we weren't alive 1,000 years ago, but to our ancestors and like what was going on 1,000 years ago on planet Earth. We don't know anything about that. All these historians are bullshitting you. They cannot tell you with 100% certainty what happened in the past. It's all just speculation and guesswork. I hate people that are so ignorant and dumb. They just blindly believe what people tell them. It's so fucking annoying, man. Damn, it's fucking annoying, man. The people, they just blindly believe what other people tell them. It's these historians, blah blah blah, because they have all these credentials and diplomas and other forms of certificates and degrees and pedigrees. I don't know. You have to listen to these people and you have to hear their bullshit. They bullshit you. I'm telling you, they bullshit you. They tell you with like 100% certainty that this is what happened in the past and this is where you come from and this is what happened to us and stuff and this is our history and stuff. It's all bullshit. All we have to rely on to piece together our history is like the ignorant opinions of medieval prehistoric people. How fucking retarded is that? Most people are so fucking retarded. It's annoying and stuff. Most people are just completely ignorant and brain dead. Most people are just so dumb. They cannot like think properly on their own. They have to like rely on other people to do all the thinking for them and stuff. They have to like think. They have to let other people think for them. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Man, it's so annoying. I don't know. Human history is a mystery. Human history is a mystery. It's true though. It's true though. Human history is a mystery. I don't know. It's true though. Yo, it's true. It's true though. We don't know anything about our history, our true history. We don't know anything about what happened to us in the past, what happened to our ancestors, what happened to like the people in our history and stuff, blah blah blah. It's all just a mystery. Human history is a mystery. All we have to go on and rely on, the only piece of evidence we have are like the ignorant opinions of medieval prehistoric people. How fucking retarded is that? It's not like we have video footage of what our ancestors were doing and stuff like that. It's all we have are like the ignorant opinions of medieval prehistoric people. I'm kind of going over the same points, but you know what I'm trying to get at. Like our history is all bullshit. All these historians, man, all these documentaries and all these books that are written about our history, it's all just bullshit. We don't know anything about our history. Human history is a mystery. Because I was starting this video off like I was going to tell you exactly what happened to our ancestors and this and that, and this is our history and this is where we come from. I can't tell you that because our history is a mystery and there's so many different opinions and beliefs and stuff like this. I already went over this. You know, if you're religious, you believe that you believe what your religious scriptures tell you. If you're like an atheist, you believe in evolution and natural selection, that we all come from the ocean floor and billions of years of evolution, natural selection, blah blah blah, monkeys turning into humans and stuff and blah 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 and this and that. That's what you believe in. I don't know. You might have some other types of beliefs, I don't know, and opinions. I can't tell you anything. I'm telling you, the only thing I can tell you is that human history is a mystery. Like we don't know anything about our past. All we have to go on and rely on are like the ignorant opinions of like medieval prehistoric people. How fucking retarded is that? How fucking retarded is that we have to like rely on like the ignorant opinions of like medieval prehistoric people? That's the only evidence we have to piece together our history. You must be fucking retarded if you just blindly believe what these historians tell you, man. They tell you like 100% certainty that this is what happened in our past and blah 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 and this is our history, and all they have to rely on are like the ignorant opinions of medieval prehistoric people. Human history is a mystery. I'm in my opinion, like we can only like with like some certainty like fully claim, like especially about like events that were only like happening, like that only happened like a couple hundred years ago. That's the only certainty we have to claim things and blah 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 and to say things and happen this way and that way and blah blah blah. But 1,000 years back, we don't know anything, man. Our human history is a mystery. A lot of our history is just probably fabricated, made up and nonsense. Don't watch, you watch those documentaries and you like these historians, what they tell you in all these history books. It's all just bullshit and nonsense. Our history, human history, is a mystery. We don't know what happened to us, to our ancestors, what was going on the earth, even like 1,000 years ago. It's all just a mystery. But you know, you probably are still kind of ignorant and dumb. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, you might not, probably not even listen to what I'm saying. You might just want to like get back into the matrix and just believe what the historians and all these other academics tell you and stuff. I don't know, do that then. I don't know, don't listen to what I'm telling you. I don't know, maybe that you might feel better that way. I don't know. Hopefully though, you carefully think about everything I've kind of said and mentioned in this video very carefully and properly. Hopefully you do think about everything I've said and mentioned in this video very properly, and that's about it. Human history is a mystery.